Hello and welcome to the live reveal for the Exec Elections 2020.
I now declare the Exec Elections 2020 are open. You are now free to campaign.
The campaign did not get a ban. Me as an individual did get a ban.
We have a very strict rule book which candidates are expected to follow.
Hello, I'm Callum Park.
Hello, my name is Matt Youngs.
This is the story of the Loughborough Students' Union Executive Elections 2020.
We followed the highs and lows of the election process for the two presidential candidates, Matt Youngs and Callum Park.
So the executive elections are used to elect our sabbatical officers for the year. These sabbatical officers have to be elected as they represent the student view at the highest possible level throughout the university and the union. The reality of these sabbatical positions is that they can have a big influence and impact on the way the university decides to do things and the way we choose to operate as a union. I am Darcy Dunn. I run the LSU Executive Elections. I am the Vice President and the Acting Returning Officer.
Live reveal's only 3 days away. How are you feeling?
Good, yeah, good. Quietly confident. It's at this point in time where you suddenly start running through everything in your head and start thinking, oh, have I forgotten that? Is this where it needs to be? Have I sent this off? But so far that brief crisis hasn't happened yet. So no, we're happy.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I'm in a really good mindset. It's come around very quickly. It's been a challenge this year, having to balance what is basically a full-time role, is and more, alongside doing all campaign prep. So as a result, I'm working a lot in the evening. There is very much a brand that you've got to build up around your candidate, and it's a case of how much does your brand reflect the demographic of students on campus? How much are students willing to engage with your brand? And simply, is it eye-catching enough?
And what do you think your biggest challenge is in the race?
I think the biggest challenge is proving that I'm capable of what's required in the role. I think prove that I've got what it takes and deserve to be elected by the students across campus. So that's the biggest challenge for me.
Without coming across as arrogant, there isn't much I'm fearing. There is the fear of the unknown, simply because it is contested, as it should be. If any of the roles on exec should be contested in the elections, it is president. And if I were to be uncontested in a role like president, I wouldn't feel like I'd been properly elected on a mandate from students. That doesn't mean that I'm not apprehensive, because students have a very diverse range of views, and it takes a very strong candidate to be able to tap into every single one of those views.
And then last one, do you feel ready?
Yeah, we do. I do. The team does. I think I do. I think we'll find out if we're actually ready during the week. But no, we feel ready. I think everything's in place. I just kind of want to get going now. I just don't really like the waiting about a bit now. We just want to get going and want to get into it.
So yeah, I'm just ready to go. I can't wait for this time tomorrow when it will be live reveal. I'm really excited to get my face out there, and excited to see what everyone else is doing as well in their campaigns.
As a candidate, you're not actually allowed to tell people that you're running until it's announced and campaigning starts. So shortly we'll be revealing our candidates to the whole of the Loughborough University cohort, and the way we'll be doing that is calling their name out and bringing them out into the main piazza with all the campaign teams downstairs, basically to reveal them as big as we possibly can.
Hello and welcome to the live reveal for the Exec Elections 2020.
Are you ready to meet the candidates? Okay. Your final role to be revealed is, of course, the boss, the president. It's a new decade with new ideas. This candidate's been a hall chair twice for Claudia Parsons and the whole. Oh, and did you know he raps? It's Callum Park. But by no means least, our current welfare executive officer, looking to deliver first-class change for you. Give it up for Mr. Matt Young! Your candidates at the 2020 Exec Election!
Tell us a little bit about why you're not currently out there campaigning. Did you or did you not get a ban?
The campaign did not get a ban. Me as an individual did get a ban. A few months ago, I sent round a message asking people to register their interest and very carefully worded it, but was picked up on the fact that it came across as collaborating with another potential candidate.
Sure, but do you think it's affected you in any way or not?
It was really frustrating. It was frustrating because it hit at a really critical time it was just when election prep was gearing up. It was very frustrating. The nuances of it I still don't particularly agree with, but it's one of those things where sort of lose a battle but win the war.
What are you most excited about releasing? Anything you've got hidden away that you think is going to be quite good?
We've got, without wanting to say too much, we've got a musical item that will hopefully be going out over the course of the week without wanting to reveal too much. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting that out.
Communication, culture and construction are the key points for this exec candidate known as... Communication is the first point. More face-to-face and virtual chat with students if you vote for. Construction is the next one. I'll keep designing the new union building for the next students. They'd love a new place.
The second event, probably the scariest one for our candidates, is the Soapbox. But the idea of the Soapbox is we bring them in and they sit on one of these chairs here.
We are here for the big one. It's the presidential Soapbox, one I'm sure people have been waiting nearly 10 hours of Soapbox to see, but we finally made it after that very, very long VP one. I am joined by the wonderful Callum Parks and wonderful Matthew Youngs.
Hello, I'm Callum Park and I'm running to be Loughborough Students' Union President.
Hello, my name is Matt Youngs and I'm running to be your next President of Loughborough Students' Union.
During the Soapbox, we like to have the most rigorous questions possible, and often they're from the public. We get lots of tweets in on the day and students ask their own questions. We also have people on a panel, so experts and former executive officers that come down and are asking questions to the candidates. And finally, we also look at their manifestos and really try and dig deep into the reasons of why they're running and whether they'll be any good.
The current president, the person who is in the role that you are running for, has said that one of your points is unattainable and cannot be done.
No, I think that the idea, firstly, I believe the idea can be achieved, and if it can't, I believe we can adapt it.
Okay, we've got a question just come in from social media. Which section would you remove?
I would probably have to say AU Clubs Officer.
So I'm not going to provide you with an answer now, because it's not a decision an individual makes, it's a decision a team makes.
And of course, that is it. We are done with the Soapbox. That is the end of the Soapbox Elections 2020.
Lastly, results night is probably the biggest night for the candidates throughout the whole elections. So results night, we bring them in, we put them on stage and we read out how many votes they got live.
And finally, we have our presidential candidates. Please welcome to the stage your first candidate. It's Callum Park. Please welcome to the stage your second candidate. It's Matt Youngs. In the first round, Callum, you received 1,488 votes. Matt, you received 1,701 votes. No one met the quota in the first round, and Ron has been eliminated. Callum, in the second round, you received 1,506 votes. Matt, you received 1,727 votes. Matt, you are duly elected as Union President. In your Executive Elections of 2020. Thank you.
Matt, how are you feeling? Congratulations. Thank you. I'm over the moon. It hasn't quite sunk in yet. Give it 24, 48 hours. It will absolutely sink in. I can't believe it at the moment. I cannot believe it.
How have you found campaigning this week?
Absolutely loved it. Obviously, I'd been through the whole process before, but this time I was contested, so it was an extra challenge, an added incentive. But I mean, absolutely credit to Callum. He was the perfect competitor for me. We got on so well. Both of us would have been excellent in the role, and I'm just so happy, so happy.
Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. That's kind of what the elections are about, literally putting yourself in kind of the public sphere and just allowing people to have their opinion on what you're about. And that's when you know that you're in the position for the right reason, because if you're doing it to push your agenda, just don't run. It will get changed. So run for the right reasons and don't be afraid to put yourself out there.